Hello Neighbor is a survival horror stealth game that is about the personal and internal demons that we nurture along the way. The only way to conquer them is to face them head-on. This video contains major spoilers, so without further ado, let's begin. Our story begins with Nicky, a young boy who moves into a new house in a quiet suburban neighborhood. The peaceful setting quickly turns unsettling as Nicky becomes intrigued by his neighbor, Mr. Peterson, who lives across the street. Mr. Peterson's house is shrouded in mystery. It's a dark, foreboding place with locked doors and strange noises that pique Nicky's curiosity. The game unfolds across 3 acts, each revealing more about the neighbor's sinister secrets. In Act 1, Nicky's primary goal is to uncover what's hidden in the neighbor's basement. As Nicky ventures into the yard and sneaks through the house, he encounters a series of traps and obstacles set by the neighbor to keep his secrets concealed. The basement, heavily fortified and elusive, symbolizes the enigma Nicky is determined to solve. To enter the basement of the neighbor, Nicky must get through obstacles like climbing boxes to find the red key that unlocks the basement. Deep in the basement, Nicky is chased by the neighbor into a 3-colored locked door, giving him no chance to escape the chasing neighbor as he is taken captive. In Act 2, it has been a few weeks since Nicky went missing as he is held captive in the neighbor's basement. As you can see, Nicky's socks are worn out, and he is in a fake room created by Mr. Peterson. He sleeps on a sleeping bag on the floor with candles around him. After escaping the basement, the boy realizes how much his neighbor's house really changed. The neighbor's house has undergone a dramatic transformation. The house now has an extra floor on the top, gargantuan walls surrounding the house with wire on the top. The layout becomes a nightmarish maze, filled with increasingly sophisticated traps designed to thwart Nicky's progress. Of course, I don't really believe that his house physically changed that much, but I think this is all of Nicky's trauma and his feeling of desperation and no escape that made him imagine the house of his kidnapper like this. Nicky then has to complete various tasks such as readjusting a water pipe and etc., to then finally jump on a trampoline to escape his captor, running home before his nightmare ends. Or did it? In Act 3, Nicky is evicted from his apartment and forced to go back to his childhood town where he was kidnapped. While in his dilapidated childhood home, we can see a shadow figure watching him. The shadow represents his fear and trauma from the incident, as we will see soon enough. When he goes to sleep, he suddenly enters a dream world where Mr. Peterson is living next door again, and Nicky must face his fear to move on. Act 3 plunges Nicky deeper into the mystery. The neighbor's house now resembles a twisted labyrinth, mirroring the chaos and despair that have taken hold of his life. The house becomes a reflection of the neighbor's troubled psyche, and Nicky must navigate its complex layout to reach the basement and uncover the final truths. As Nicky delves into the basement, he uncovers the heartbreaking reality behind the neighbor's actions. The basement holds the key to understanding the neighbor's torment and the tragic loss of his family. It becomes evident that the neighbor's bizarre behavior and the house's eerie transformation are manifestations of his grief and guilt. This game shows Nicky overcoming his past trauma by facing it, like when he defended his younger self from the Shadow Man that represents the trauma from his childhood kidnapping. At the end of the game, we can see a happier Nicky as he learned to accept and forget. The climax of Act 3 reveals the full extent of the neighbor's sorrow and madness. Nicky learns that the neighbor was trying to protect a painful memory, clinging to the past in a desperate attempt to shield himself from the anguish of losing his loved ones. The house itself becomes a symbol of the neighbor's psychological turmoil and emotional scars. And that concludes our exploration of Hello Neighbor 1. The game's compelling narrative and unsettling atmosphere combine to create a story that resonates with themes of loss, grief, and the quest for understanding. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Hello Neighbor universe, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content.